To say something about this meme that is spreading online. Concerning the meme in the picture, a series of things come to my mind. First of all, most of the people who cling to memes, using them as flags to proclaim their adhesion to so-called social values, have zero ideas or don't care about what the power of meme really is and what is really capable of. And secondly, in order to be able to think properly, you have to risk being offensive. Meaning, if a person really cares about establishing and preserving a proper thinking, then that comes with the risk of offending somebody else. Pretty much inevitably. As well, it also comes with the openness to the possibility of being offended. So I find it odd somehow, almost hypocritical, that many people preach about the right to criticize other people's idea, which eventually results indeed in such people taking offense. As an emblem of freedom of speech and as a possibility to improve an in-depth understanding of things, which is good. But then when they receive the same treatment, they seem to forget very rapidly what they were preaching about. And they usually go back to the attitude of taking offense and blaming those who have questioned and criticized, calling them maybe jerks or trolls or overthinking troublemakers and such. Also, while there is an emerging proneness to value the act of criticizing other people's ideas growing up here and there in the fabric of society and online, which is a good thing to me, there are many questions that seem to remain ignored for some reasons, which is again probably an outcome of our human hypocrisy. Questions such as, what makes us think that the practice of questioning other people is okay, but that should not be done with a partner, or with a friend, or with a parent and relative? What makes us value those silly ideas that when we are willing to question a partner, also for the sake of duty and because one eventually really cares about that person, a person has to be somehow kind with the process of questioning and has to also sort of water it down or even dumb it down. When it comes to questioning, what is that gives us? What is that gives to the partner or the family members more rights of protectiveness and kinds of untouchable shields than the ones who are strangers to us? And what is making us ignorant about the circumstances when the so-called love for another, we feel, is merely a cocktail stirred and mixed together with hypocrisy and second-hand broken-hearted thoughts? Now, the problem is that such dynamics, despite their invisibility and surreptitiousness, are factually characteristics of what emotional abuses are known for. And this is not a matter of gender equality, because it happens regardless of the sex, the gender, the color of the skin, and so on, since we all have the same brain and the same proneness to fallacies, stupidity, and broken up mindsets. I think this meme is really utterly idiotic because it triggers, first of all, feminist-alike slogans, but not only that, such as I'm free to do whatever I want, no matter what, and no one can tell me what to do, and that's it. This meme idea of utter freedom is not only stupid, but it also is dysfunctional and also dangerous, and as well is a possible source of problems indeed, because in fact there are certain rules in life that if broken, when broken by somebody that has this kind of ideas in mind, they can really damage other people's lives, greatly actually. What if the character in the meme, for example, has crazy ideas in mind? Since we cannot live in total isolation, whatever our idea of freedom is going to affect the other human beings around us. Not wanting to discuss it, not wanting to receive suggestions, is therefore actually really utterly idiotic. The other problem is that the statement is imperative somehow, and that means that it also discards suggestions by identifying any suggestion as an imposition, which is not. The meme indeed summarizes also what the caliber of dull Western spoiledness is. Because usually most of those who say things like that and actually think that way, in case whatever kind of anomalous situation or serious crisis happen, they are usually the first who freak out, who get stuffed with irrational fears, eventually becoming dangerously hysterical, or those who cling to somebody willing to help them. So I really think that it's very important to think about these things and to think about the kind of cognitive relationship we engage with the memes. We fabricate in our own mind, we assimilate from the outside, or we come across with online.